What do a llama, a children's fairground train, and a washing machine have in common? They've all been looted by Russian troops fighting in Ukraine. As Putin's soldiers advanced earlier this year, they made sure to steal anything of value that they could send back home. Now, as they're forced into another humiliating retreat from Kherson, tons of military equipment is being left behind. Here, we look at exactly what Putin's troops have been taking home, why looting is so widespread, and what this indiscipline tells us about the faltering Russian war effort. 9 months into the war in Ukraine, and the Russian military is known for 3 things: incompetence, war crimes, and looting. A lot of this appears to be opportunistic thieving by troops using the war as an excuse to steal what they cannot buy back home. And the scale is truly staggering. In the first 3 months of fighting, 58 tons of loot was shipped home via post offices in Belarus, with CCTV capturing soldiers in the act. Russia's military recruits heavily from the country's poorest regions, meaning iPhones, watches, jewellery and cash are prime targets for the impoverished soldiers. The army is also horribly corrupt, with commanders often stealing from their own men to make money on the side. It is therefore perhaps no surprise that their troops have learned to copy this behaviour. Televisions, fridges and washing machines are also commonly stolen from Ukrainian homes. Looted washing machines have been found in the wreckage of downed Russian helicopters, destroyed vehicles, and in abandoned trenches. No doubt most of these are taken because they're expensive, but they could also serve another, more practical purpose. The US believes computer chips from home appliances are finding their way into Russian military equipment because sanctions have stopped Moscow from importing key components used in its missiles, its tanks, and other military systems. And household electricals are not the only items Russian troops have turned to for an advantage on the battlefield. It is no secret that Moscow's forces are poorly outfitted, going into battle with out-of-date medical kits, Second World War rifles, and boots that their grandfathers would have worn. Chechen warlord Ramzan Kadyrov admitted as much in a recent video, but said that this wasn't a problem because troops could simply take whatever they don't have from the Ukrainians that they kill. And this certainly seems to be the case. Russian soldiers have been spotted wearing Ukrainian boots and have been accused of taking tents and other camping gear to use in the field. CCTV footage taken early during the war revealed soldiers raiding supermarkets, homes and farms for food and drink after they were given insufficient supplies. And videos have emerged of conscripts being told they will have to supply much of their own equipment, including the likes of bandages and tourniquets, forcing their families to raise money to buy the gear themselves at a cost of hundreds of pounds. One dead Russian soldier was even found with a tourniquet zip-tied to his bulletproof vest, meaning he would have been unable to use it if it was needed. Many vehicles have also been driven away, from ambulances to fire trucks and farm equipment such as tractors. Hospital equipment has also been stolen, including from a children's cancer unit. Aside from taking objects of monetary and practical value, other stolen treasures have cultural significance for Russia. Locals in the city of Kherson, which Russia has now abandoned, say that troops were looting artifacts from the city as they fled. The bones of Grigory Potemkin, a Russian noble, war hero and lover of Catherine the Great, have been disinterred from a tomb in the city's Cathedral of St. Catherine and taken away. A statue of Potemkin, the founder of Kherson, has also gone missing. Kherson's art museum has also been raided, with witnesses saying soldiers packed more than 10,000 artifacts into lorries over the course of 4 days and drove them off to Crimea. The tactic serves a dual purpose. First, it allows Russia to reinforce its own idea of nationhood by taking back artifacts which they believe to belong to them, such as Potemkin's bones. And, on the other hand, it erases the idea of a separate Ukrainian culture by removing objects which serve as evidence of this. But not all the looting is organised. In fact, most of it appears to be by soldiers carrying away whatever they can lay their hands on, simply because nobody's going to stop them. For example, Kherson Zoo was emptied of all its animals, including a llama packed into a van as the city was evacuated. Russian troops were also accused of taking a children's fairground train. Meanwhile, Ukrainians whose houses have been occupied in other parts of the country say the Russians stole underwear, screwdrivers, car tyres, plates, kettles and mattresses. Makeup, including used eyeliners, lipsticks and mascara, was also taken. A famous photograph captured in the city of Papansa back in May showed a Russian tank driving down the street with household goods piled on top. The haul included Disney-themed children's bedsheets, a red blanket and a new boiler still in its cardboard box. The reasons for this appear to vary man to man. Perhaps some were keen to impress their wives and girlfriends waiting for them back home with their hauls. Others seem to have been taken westernized goods that sanctions will likely prevent them from getting in Russia in the future. And some of the thieving appears to be purely out of spite. But taken together, it shows the Russian army employs a deliberate tactic of raiding the land that they occupy, like the Dark Age Vikings once did. It seems Putin's military is determined to steal whatever it hasn't already destroyed. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe below.